Hey guys, this is Matthew Taylor over at EasyBizStart, talking about our new series, Life as a Business Road Warrior. As everyone knows, I travel quite a bit. I was just doing the math, and I've been on seven different road trips by air and 3 by car since the beginning of the year. And that requires a certain amount of planning and a certain amount of logistics. A lot of people I know get stressed out about what to take, what to pack, what you need, what you want, and kind of those luxury items. And all of it takes a certain amount of space. All of it takes a certain amount of weight. And all of it takes a certain amount of cost, both mentally, physically, and financially, to have certain toys in the bag and knowing what you want to do and what makes you more comfortable. I get a lot of questions about how I do that, how I do it with really only one carry-on and then a small personal item, how I haven't checked a bag in a lot of years. And it's really just talking about knowing what the systems are, knowing how to dress, knowing what equipment I need for the type of my business, and then what my hobbies are and how I like to entertain myself when I'm out on the road as well. So we're just going to talk about the basics of it. We'll do more in depth and some gear reviews on different pieces that are in my kit, so to speak. But really I have everything broken down into systems. And systems really help me identify when I'm trying to figure out if I forgot something or if I'm doing something different that I need to pack extra equipment for. That really helps me kind of square away. So the first thing I want to talk about is how I dress. Everyone who knows me knows that I am, without a doubt, a blue jean businessman. And so when I'm traveling especially, and also when I'm out on site or with clients, everyone expects to see me typically in a collared shirt, sports coat, blue jeans. I wear boots and I wear blue jeans, and this is what I do. So if you look in my bag, you're going to find 3 or 4 more collared shirts, the proper undergarments, toiletry kit, but I don't really vary too much on that. The other thing that really happens to me is I have some wild swings in weather. Just in the last 30, 45 days, I've been in 12 degree below zero, I've been in a blizzard, I've been on a beach in Mexico, I've been speaking in humid areas over in Sacramento, I've been in rainstorms, and so how to dress and how to pack for that weather is something that really impacts really what my gear choices are. Now, a lot of people try to have one perfect jacket or one perfect outfit for every environment. I try to avoid that altogether. And so what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about first kind of the clothing systems. So I'm going to turn the camera around for us. And this is really how I kind of pack out. As we said, I have a Samsonite bag, one carry-on bag, covers most everything that I need to cover. And just the clothes, nicely tucked, rolled. I find rolling works very well for me. And it's just really about 2 changes of clothes, 3 changes of clothes for a trip this duration. And that's usually what keeps me up, going, and out on the road. The second thing that I have are kind of some mid-layer systems. Both of these happen to be Mountain Hardwear. Everyone knows I also hike and backpack a lot. But this works very well for me because if it's a little chilly I just go with either a nice soft fleece-lined shirt or a windstopper fleece vest. If it gets colder, then I can go ahead and put both and be pretty comfortable in temperature ranges as high as about 85 and down to about 30 degrees without getting a little chilly. 2 other things that aren't here with me right now are I also wear a hat and bring a hat with me on all trips, and then also bring a pair of gloves. Gloves are just handy to have. The other thing that I have is just a good, well-fitted sports coat. I tend towards gray or blue, things that go with most everything, and especially go with the fact that I wear blue jeans to most events. Obviously, all of this can change if it's something that's going to be something where I'm going to be wearing a suit or I'm going to be on stage presenting, and then I dress differently. If I'm going to be walking a lot, then I pack a pair of hiking shirts, probably shoes, but all of that goes into that same carry-on bag here. As you can see, we've still got camera equipment set up. The camera equipment is going to stay here. This is part of our filming setup over here in our Wyoming office. The only thing that will go with me is the camera, but we've got another camera that you can view as well. We're going to go ahead and rotate. And actually, that's not going to work. And so the second layer of gear that we're going to talk about is what I carry on my person. What I carry on my person is exactly that. What do I have in my pockets? What's always with me or nearby? And this first row is really what I carry kind of in my personal day to day in my car, in my pockets. The basics. When I'm traveling light, I always just carry a very small wallet. I've got a work credit card. I've got a work debit card for each of the offices, and then my personal information on the back and some emergency cash. Business cards. I actually worked at a firm, and I learned a very valuable lesson. Someone who would have probably fired me if I was ever caught out on the road without business cards. And the business cards are important. Every conversation that you have, you don't know where it's going to turn into. Being able to prove who you are, having an extra card in every single bag that you own, in every single pocket of a bag that you own, makes it much easier if you lose something to get it back to you. Gum, self-explanatory. It's, again, whoever you meet out on the road, you'll never want to make a bad impression with something as silly as bad breath. Gum is just one of those things that I always tend to have on me. I tend to carry these pens, and I like these pens a lot. This is one of the ones from the Wyoming Business Center office. It has a nice little stylus. I do a lot of work on touchscreen computers, and so having the stylus works. The other nice benefit is if someone finds our bag, the fact that the pens, the cards, everything kind of matches up to whose bag it is. I carry a flashlight with me pretty much everywhere I go. Sometimes I'm going into a dark hotel room. Sometimes a light might be burned out at the apartment. Sometimes I'm fumbling for something in my bag when I'm trying to get ready at the car. So having a flashlight there and some spare batteries is always a good thing. And so I've usually got a small flashlight clipped on one of my pockets. Backup batteries for cell phones. I cannot tell you how many of these I go through. I probably own at least 8, and I have them stashed in various vehicles. They're always plugged in so that they're always charged and ready to grab. Having extra batteries, these smaller ones allow me to charge my phone a full one time, and that's enough to get me through usually an extra 4 to 8 hours, depending on how heavy I'm using the phone. And the final thing that's always kind of with me on my person is a set of headphones. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm always tracking what's going on. It's also a Bluetooth headset that allows me to be able to get and take phone calls if I'm in a vehicle that isn't mine and I don't have it Bluetooth capability. And so those headphones are something that, again, are always going to be hung around my neck or clipped onto a hat, and it's something that's always with me. Getting to the second layer of gear, this is where I start actually carrying a bag with me. And this bag has been around for a while. It's designed to carry my tablet, and it doesn't have room for much else, but it does have room to carry a couple batteries, a couple charging cables, and a pen and a pad of paper. A pen and a pad of paper is one of those things that I always try to have with me. You never know what you're going to need to write down, and recording or digital is great, but I still am old school, and I like having the just tactile feel of pen and paper in hand. It just helps me flow through things. If I'm going to be doing some more work or some Steadicam work, then I need to have something that's a little bit better. This is my selfie stick that I kind of carry around. It adjusts out to fit a camera or a camera phone. It adjusts for height and adjusts for tilt and angle, and it just simply adjusts off. It was something I found, I think, on eBay for $8 or $10. It wasn't a big deal. Also, I carry an extra microphone, and this is a Rode mic, and this is something I can plug into the phone and get better audio for my phones. I carry a highlighter. Again, writing instruments are great, but if I need to highlight when I'm doing legislative work, this is something I always have. The passport, a lot of people don't carry when they're traveling in the U.S. I've been in situations where I've seen people and had people close to me lose a driver's license in the middle of a travel trip. And not having a second form of ID can be very inconvenient. You have to really work hard to negotiate your way onto an airplane. You may miss a flight, and for me, having a passport with me is just a second form of ID. I keep it in a different bag than I keep my wallet, and that way I've always got a second option for ID. And then the final thing that's always kind of in my quick reach is my Samsung Note 12 tablet. This is a 4G LTE tablet. The nice thing about that is I don't have to worry about hotel internet. I don't have to worry about Wi-Fi hotspots. I don't have to worry about security issues of being on someone else's internet. I always have access, as long as I have cell phone signal, that I can be able to pull full documents. It gets about 13 hours on a charge. It does have a separate keyboard. While it's great for work, it's also great for those long hours on airplanes. I always have the ability to watch a movie, be able to pull things off of Netflix, and be able to get some work done and also get some relaxation time as well. Part of that travel kit also then gets into another set of Bluetooth headphones. These are noise canceling headphones, which are outstanding on airplanes. The noise really gets to me after a while. It just helps me to relax. A small kickstand for my phone, and a headphone splitter. A lot of times my wife travels with me, and when she does, we want to be able to watch a movie together. This is something that allows me to just go ahead and have that splitter available and be able to do it. Okay, guys, now moving on to the next stage. If I'm going to be doing any filming, which is something that's becoming more and more of my daily routine, the things I always do are bring along one or two of our small cameras. Our small cameras that we use are Canon high-def cameras. They're great. They run for about 2 hours on a battery. They run with a micro SD card. They have an external microphone. We'll do a full review on these cameras in a little bit, but a lot of our road travel filming is going to be done on those Canon HD cameras. And so those are just great grab-and-go cameras, and they're not terribly expensive, so if I lose one, break one, it's not going to break my heart. We did talk a little bit about this also. The Sunpack 1000 AVG is just a larger grip that allows me to get a better handle either on filming from the camera phone or from the Canon. It gives me a little stand for mounting a microphone or a light, allows me to mount it to a tripod a little bit easier, and just gives me a better grip and handle. So this is one of those things that's always in my larger bag, the larger Samsung bag, if I'm going to be doing a longer trip. And then finally getting into if I'm going to be taking a full setup, and that full setup requires, for me, a full laptop. And having a full Windows-based laptop, and I know I'm not going to get into the arguments of PC versus Apple, but having a full-size laptop allows me to just edit documents much faster, be able to work in an office environment, be able to do a lot of web conferencing. It just gives me a much better keyboard and just better options for connections, being able to push to monitors and have storage options than the tablet does. The next thing I carry is a full-size boom mic. This was not a terribly expensive microphone. It was probably about $100 with the stand. This is an Audio Technica microphone. This one actually has the advantage because it plugs into the 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks, and those headphone jacks plug both into the phone and into the small cameras, and so when I'm on the road, this is the microphone I tend to grab. I also grab a cradle for a tripod to be able to put my phone on a larger tripod, an isolator for the microphone, so if it's going to be something with a lot of vibration, this is something that helps isolate the microphone from that. And then finally a high-def webcam that I am able to put on either to the tablet or onto the laptop. And the high-def webcam allows me to do a lot of our one-on-one consultations, chats, meet with my team members over video chat, and the high-def video cam is just something that I always have. I also always carry a first aid kit in my travel bag. I do a lot of just out in the middle of nowhere, 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes from the nearest town, traveling across snowy highways and having a first aid kit. It was always good, and then if it's going to be bad weather, I also carry a larger emergency kit. And so let me go ahead and turn back around. So again, this is what I carry. Everyone varies it. Everyone's a little bit different, and everyone always has different priorities for what they want to carry. This kit adjusts a little bit if I'm going to be speaking or testifying on legislative issues. I carry an extra garment bag or probably and a suit or two. If I'm going to be doing a presentation, then I carry a wireless lavalier mic, and I carry with me also my monitor and the software so I can connect up in some extra connecting cables. The other thing I didn't want to show because no one wants to see the cable is all of the different cables that go along with this. Charging cables, connector cables, that takes its own segment in my bag. But that's really what I carry with me. And so all of this goes into one carry-on and then a small little bag. The bag can go into a larger one if I'm going to be taking more stuff. But this is what allows me to avoid checking bags. This allows me to be able to change my tickets on the fly, grab an earlier flight, or if there's a weather delay. I travel enough that I have to change my flights at least every third trip because of some event that's going on, either for me personally or for what's going on with the airlines and weather. So being able to switch quickly is one of those critical things, and how I pack is a big part of that. So that was a lot of information to cover. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys find it helpful. If you like this, want to hear more about anything more about what's in our bag and how we pack for that, by all means, we can expand out and do some gear reviews as well. But I wanted to check in, introduce the Road Warrior series. It's going to talk more about how we travel and how we manage that travel and make it cost effective and time effective for us, and get the best out of it. So I hope you guys are doing well and have a great day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow from Carson City.